How's it going? Here is another Ring of Fire video. This is from June 30th, and this was a really good night of racing. I really enjoyed it. I was thinking after the last video, I don't think I ever mentioned it, but I wear a Garmin watch, and before the first race, a couple weeks ago, my Garmin actually asked me if I needed to calm down. It thought that I was really stressed, and I guess my heart rate was getting high because I had the nerves going. I was excited to do some hard racing, and this time, thankfully, I did not get that warning from my watch. I was a little more in control, had the nerves calmed. I knew what was coming up. I knew what to expect. I was still really excited to do just some really good hard riding, but also I knew that I could race a little bit smarter. I knew that tactically I thought that I had a little bit of improvement to do, and I was really excited just to test that out at this event and see how it would work. And thankfully it did pay off, so I ended up finishing third overall, which was a result I was really excited about in the field of over a little over 30 people, I think, in the field. So definitely felt good about it. But here we are, we're going to jump right into the racing. This is the lap that's going to lead into the first points race, or first sprint. And this is one that I was really excited just to kind of see who was doing what was going on. So I was still riding hard, and I think, of course, everyone is, and the field was getting super strung out. And I knew that it was going to be hard, and of course here I realized, hey, I'm not going to factor into the points, but I still kind of want to be close to the front of the race after the sprint. So I was riding at a high power, just to kind of still be in contention with the group, because actually I had looked behind myself at this point, and the field was kind of blown in half. It was actually a really big gap between this group and the group behind me. And it did pay off, because this is just after that sprint. I had a little left in the tank. There I am fixing my camera, and this guy had rolled through right after the sprint and kept the pace going, and I happened to be in a good position that I could also try and go with him, and I knew that I wanted to, so I figured, hey, you know what, I'll jump across, I'll try and get on this guy's wheel, and we'll see what happens. He was on one of the bigger teams, and so I didn't think that they would chase him down. And so this is me making that catch and joining him here. And then this is the sprint, and so I open it up right here. I kind of looked across my shoulder, and I saw that he was trying to come around, and so I kicked, probably not long enough or early enough, but he gets me. But yeah, I still got second, and this is that put me into the points, so that was a really good feeling. And then here is another sprint lap, and this one I really lucked out. So you can see three of those red guys on the front, and then this is me kind of trying to get into the points. So I passed the orange guy, and then the red team guy, he sat up, and I actually snuck in there and stole second. So I think they were planning on going 1-2, but I kind of I got in there. And then this is, of course, another point sprint. You can see the red team, again, heavily represented. And this one, again, I kind of lucked out. I snuck in there in fourth, and so barely in the points there. And this time, I actually don't remember starting this attack, but here you can see, apparently I attacked. I put in a little hard dig right there, and I ended up opening up a nice little gap. And then this guy rode up next to me, and he kept the pace going. There he is right there. And I've actually done a good amount of gravel racing with him, so I knew that he was a really strong rider. So I was really excited to see him come up next to me. And so I decided, you know what, I'll work with this. We'll see if we can get into the points. And here we are a little while later. At this point, we probably had a quarter of a lap as a gap. And I saw on the lap board there, hey, you know what, 31 laps, you hear the bell ringing. Next lap will be a points lap, and so I knew that he and I should be in the points. So this one I gave a pretty hard pull, and right here I think I told him, he could take the points, because also I think that it felt like he had been doing a majority of the work. I mean, right there you can see, just sitting on his wheel, I was putting down a lot of power to stick it there. So I told him that he could take the sprint. And so that's what we did here. And also I knew that the field was closing in. So he took first. I just collected the points for second. And then right here you can see they make the catch. There's a guy who rides up here on my right. There he is. And then this, just an example of me really rolling the dice. 21 laps to go. It's a points lap. Those guys peel off the front, and I didn't want to do any leading out, and so I just attacked. I figured, you know what? Let me see what I can do. Test out the legs a little. And so I just attacked because I didn't want to sit up and then try and get on someone's wheel, and I didn't want to just ride, you know, at 300, 400 watts or whatever and just end up leading someone out. So I decided that I was just gonna do a really early attack and see if I could take the lap just from the front of the race. And thankfully I did hold on. That guy came around me right there just as we went across the line, but I stuck it out, and so that was a good feeling. And then here I was just put this as an example of a little bit of smarter racing. I sat up way earlier than I would have a couple weeks ago. Last time I would have tried to stick with those guys in case a break went, but this time I decided, you know what, I'll just sit up, and surely someone will join me and we'll bring those guys back. And that's exactly what happened. Those guys didn't go anywhere. They sprinted and then sat up. And here we are, really right into the tail end of the racing. And so this is kind of how it played out here in the finale. So you can see on the lap counter, just right there, 2 laps to go. I was just kind of surfing the wheels. I'm a little bit disappointed that I feel like I didn't leave it all out there in the finale. I probably could have, I don't know, maybe been a little bit smarter, maybe put in a little bit of a better effort. But I ended up, I think I finished 6th on the last lap, which of course is not in the points, but I did remember last time I got bumped from 5th place to 6th place because I tied for points, and the tiebreaker is how you finish across the line. And so even then, like going into this final sprint, I knew 1, there's an opportunity for points, and 2, I need to be as close to the front as I can in case I've tied someone in points. And so that's kind of why I figured I should still be towards the front. And this is kind of a situation where right here, I don't know if I could have, but I wish I could have I would have attacked maybe right here, because you can still see that the power was still really high, but my positioning was a little off, and then I kind of ended up not being really aggressive and just kind of sitting up. But that was the finish of the race, and it was really good to go out there, race a little bit smarter, end up on the podium, and make my money back. But overall, great event, and I can't wait for the next one.